Monica, thank you so much for agreeing to come on Umbal.
Thank you for having me.
Our privilege, their privilege, everybody's privilege. And एक चीज़ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ बड़ी खास लगनी है जो ये लगनी है ਜਿਹੜਾ सवाल पहला है Have you ever tasted Umbal?
Yes, many times.
Okay.
It's yummy.
That means you've been going to Jammu often.
I try to go to Jammu as often as possible. For me, it connects me to my roots, it connects me to my family, it connects me to my music, and that's very important. Yeah. Kasrod pickle, have you ever had kasrod?
Oh my god, okay.
It's been my favorite since I was a child.
And have you ever tasted kaladi wala kulcha?
Yes, I have some kiladis in my freezer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We could have actually cooked some Umbal and got it for you.
You're making me hungry right now.
Okay, talking about music and all, tell us briefly, our viewers rather, about your journey as an artist, you know, right from New York, as a musician, as a singer, as an actor in Bollywood.
Well, for me, being a musician was very much in my blood. My mom sings. My Mama Ji was a singer in Jammu. He still sings. My Masi was a poet. So for me, music was kind of my sadhana. It was my prayer, the way that I connected to God. And then when my parents split up when I was quite young, music became very important in that phase because it was the one thing that made me happy. It held everything together. I think a lot of artists feel that way about, that's why you're an actor, why we write, why we sing, because it connects us to something higher. So then I went to NYU, I studied musical theater, and then I think after I graduated, about 1 or 2 years after I graduated, I came to Bombay for the first time, alone. I met all these music producers, film producers, actors, and I just hit it off with everyone I met in India. They were all so weird, like just tattoos, rock music, everything. And for me, I struggled a lot with this, what does it mean to be Indian? What does it mean to be Indian in the US? And then within that framework, not just that a Dogra, and not just a Dogra, but a child of a broken family, and a girl who wants to be a performer, which were all things that were very uncommon. And then 2 years after I arrived in India, I got Dhobi Ghat. Dhobi Ghat was with Aamir Khan, so that was like a big, big deal. And then now, I think no matter where I go, if I lived in India, if I lived in Alaska, if I lived, in China, I'd make music. I'll always make art, no matter where I live. But I live here now. So.
You talked about your Mama Ji and your Masi. So, चिंता नहीं करो आज तुसीं और दसने उनकी मासी ते उनके मामा जी दे बारे. What is your Mama Ji's name?
My Mama Ji's name is Prakash Sharma. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a time when all radio was recorded at one radio station, right? And during that era, my Mama Ji was quite a well-known folk singer. So he sang in Pahari languages, he sang in Dogri. A bunch of his music was quite popular in Jammu. He would travel because of his music, and he'd perform singing in Dogri, but in Bombay, singing in Dogri in Bangalore, Delhi. And my memories are sitting with him, my whole maternal side, around a dholak, some spoons, and everybody's playing in Takshri for hours. Masi is an Urdu poet. She writes in Urdu. My mom actually taught Sanskrit in university in America for a little while. My Masi's name is Shashi Padha. She is an army wife. I think we all know army wives. And she and I share a birthday, October 25th. My artist name was Shire for a number of years because I also write a lot of poetry.
And Shire comes from poet.
Yeah, poet.
Just for the
Exactly. My grandfather was Pandit Parshuram Shastri Sharma. He, meditated all day long, and I still wear his. Oh, I don't have it on. That's crazy. It must be in my bag. But
I was bound to remind you that.
Yeah, I wear his kara every day, and he was an orphan. He got taken in by the king, and he taught me everything I knew about the Ramayana, the Gita. He's just a really beautiful man. For me, my family in Jammu and the way I understood India through the eyes of people who lived in Jammu, it was everyone was very peaceful and loving, even though it was war-stricken. Like, I have memories growing up and going to Jammu and there'd be, a bomb in the marketplace, but everyone's still smiling and playing Antakshari at home. So something about that was really magical, that people can thrive, survive, laugh, sing, dance. This is this guy, sorry.
Can we go closer on this? This is from your Nana ji.
My Nana.
Monica, un sade viewers gi thoda jiha as ए दस्योड़ने तुंदी musical journey दे बारे in terms of what were your influences as a musician while you were growing up in America, and it could be Western or Indian, both.
Growing up, I listened to a lot of devotional music at home because my family was quite strict. But my mom was a big Lata Mangeshkar fan. My dad loved Jagjit Singh, Nusrat. And then once I, grew up, I grew up in Baltimore, so I was really into hip hop. I loved Wu-Tang Clan, I loved Run DMC, I listened to Tupac and Biggie, but then I also loved rock and roll, and I loved Alanis Morissette, and I loved Patti Smith, and I loved the Beatles. And as I got older, I started to listen to Led Zeppelin and The Doors, and reading Jim Morrison's poetry. I always felt like I was so many things that never exist together. And I was this one person with so many different ideas, thoughts, feelings. I studied Kathak, I went to the mandir, but I also loved to headbang at the club, so it was so many things that I never saw. I never met anyone else. Bombay. It's just so peaceful here.
And there's a bit of small ritual which we all do. तुसे सारा ही पता है. असें कई बारी किते हैं. असें इंदे कोला भी कराना है. Which is, I say this and you repeat after me.
Okay.
Okay. We come together. We look at them. We talk to them. And it's khand mithe.
Khand mithe.
Lokendi.
Lokendi.
Khand mithi.
Khand mithi.
Dogri.
Dogri.
ते खट्टा मिठा.
ते खट्टा मिठा.
अंबल.
अंबल.
जरूर दिखो.
जरूर दिखो.
शेयर करो.
शेयर करो.
सब्सक्राइब करो.
सब्सक्राइब करो.
जाग तो कुड़ियो.
जाग तो कुड़ियो.
तोल करो.
तोल करो.